Hey, it's Kimberlee and welcome back to my channel. I make videos on all things lifestyle on a budget, and this is going to be a video on my experience getting a facial done from Groupon. I didn't even plan on making this video. I literally just got back from getting a facial done, but it was such a unique experience that I was not expecting. So let's figure out if budget lifestyle really works when it comes to getting facials or things like that. As I mentioned in my last video when I was in San Francisco, I was really looking for a place to get a facial and I just couldn't quite figure it out over there. Wasn't really sure, didn't have any good recommendations, etc. So I said, when I get back to New York, there's so many places, I want to go. So a friend actually recommended Heyday and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll treat myself. But then the little devil on my shoulder was like, or go to Groupon, see if you can get a deal. You guys know I love deals. If there's a way to save money, I'm gonna find it. So I hopped onto Groupon and did a little search. Obviously there's so many places that come up because it is New York City, like I mentioned before, and there's just companies everywhere, businesses everywhere. Kind of stumbled on this one place called NY Healthy Skin. I bought the Groupon for a European facial, specifically working on acne skin that contained an LED moment or situation in there, etc., etc. Sounded like it was gonna be really great. I went to the website and I was like, oh, she looks like she's nice. As soon as I bought the Groupon, I realized that that was probably a stock photo and that person is actually not the person that owns it. I tried reaching out, like it said, for an appointment. I was calling, no response, no nothing. I was like, okay, this is weird. I went to the website and like submitted a little information on there saying, hey, I got a Groupon, like how can I set up an appointment? We did a lot of back and forth with texting because she'd have like one time here, one time there. The night before I was like, hey, do you have an appointment for tomorrow available? What do you got? And then it turned out she had like an afternoon on the next day. So I messaged her that day and I was like, okay, great, I can do that. Then she was asking me for my Groupon number and I was like, oh, well, I'm definitely not gonna give it till I get there because, you know, I wanna make sure that this person doesn't just like take my Groupon number and then say like, oh, it was used. I don't know, I was thinking it was just like a trust issue thing. Any other place that I've gone, you get there and then you do the Groupon right away and like that's it. So I was like, I'm not gonna give it before. So I was like, no, when I get there on my way, like I'll give it to you. Then she calls me, but I missed the call. I called back. I get what she's trying to do where she's like, I just wanna make sure you're gonna show up. Because she said other people that have Groupons will say they're coming and then they don't. And I was like, oh, I already bought it. Like, I'm set. Like, I just thought that when I get there, I'll give it. So it was just kind of funny. As soon as I like got to the building, I was like, oh, this is definitely like one of those like rent-a-room type things because it was not a spa at all. Came a little bit early so I could show her that like I'm committed. Like, I am here for my facial. She has like a little divider. There was only one table. So when I first came in, I thought it was just another worker, but it was actually the person that was getting the facial done. So when I realized, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to like switch out into a robe here. Like this doesn't give me like those kind of vibes. Well, I didn't even have to think about that because she was just like, okay, you can just hop on the table. And I was like, oh, that's it. So I was fully clothed. That was kind of confusing, a little different. And she did not cover this area at all or whatever. So I was like, what if I had like a turtleneck on, or what if, I don't even know. I was just kind of like, you know, I would think that maybe something could go over here just to block this area. Sometimes I get on my shirt. If my shirt was fancy, it was not, but I'm just saying. And then we just went right into it. Does anyone else, when the steamer is on them, be like, I can't breathe? The heat and the warmth of the air, just like, I end up like breathing through my mouth and it's blowing right in my face. I don't know, maybe I'm the only person, I'm not sure. But anyway, so when we got to the extractions, I was like, oh shoot, I forget. Like in the past, it's been so painful, especially if you have a lot of acne. So I was kind of glad that I didn't have any active acne. It wasn't too bad. She has like the little needle and then she's doing something with her hands or whatever. I have my little mask on so I can't see, but the nose is obviously pretty painful. I have so many pores on my nose that are always clogged. It's disgusting. I literally can't stand it. It was nice to have someone digging in there and getting everything out, all the gunk. I'm curious what other people feel like is the most painful part. Like other than my nose, I feel like right around here was kind of painful, like right on the cheeks, and then randomly it'd be like somewhere on the sides that I'd be like wincing. The little needle that they put in for the extractions, it's just like a bit of a pinch and then they're like basically digging in to get everything out. So all of a sudden I hear this like buzzing sound and I'm like, oh, okay, that's the microdermabrasion tool. But when she put it to my skin, it like zapped me, so I was like, whoa. Now the weird thing too, again, that kind of took me in and out of where I was, is that all of a sudden she was like, Alexa. Now my Alexa is like listening for what I'm supposed to say. So she was trying to like set an alarm. So I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, that kind of takes me a little bit out of it. But again, I'm low maintenance, so it wasn't that big a deal. But it's just like later on when I kind of got relaxed in that 15-minute time frame that I had to hear the alarm go off and then to hear her have to tell it to turn itself off. So I was just like, well, We're out of the zone again. We are not relaxing. Randomly within that 15 minutes as well, there's a lot going on in that 15 minutes. She asked me if I wanted like a arm moisturizing massage or whatever. What if I had long sleeves on? I guess she wouldn't have asked for it. Something that you wouldn't think would be an issue, but would be an issue because you're not in that like half towel thing. She massaged my arms and my hands, which actually felt really great. I don't mind a little massage. She did offer me to come back and at the same rate as the Groupon, I could have the same facial. So she gave me like a little card for it. It says like acne facial LED light, I believe. One treatment more, same price that Groupon. And then it says like, you boy here in the office, thanks. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it's like, bring this to the office, or you were here in the office. I don't really know, but this thing, if I bring it again, she'll give me the same rate. When we were like checking out and I was just gonna give her my gratuity, she was like, oh, there's also like an $8 tax from the Groupon. And I was like, oh. Then when she charged my card, it said $8.56, and I was like, okay, so there's a tax on the tax. And like, so just be, you know, wary of those extra fees that might kind of just pop up all of a sudden. The original cost of the facial on her website is $130, and then the Groupon was $98, but then I got some sort of discount that day because there's always discounts on there, so I only paid $78. So when I think $78, I think that's about right. Like I feel like that's $78 worth of my experience. Considering it ended up just being like a random place, I'm glad I didn't pay $130 because I feel like the $78 was kind of more so around what it costs or what it's worth. It just, you're not gonna get any frills or anything like that. I feel like, you know, my skin after, it's a little bit raised over here from the extraction, so I'll definitely be monitoring that over the next couple days. She was nice, attentive. We had light chatter here and there. I think if you want an experience though, definitely I would say that go and probably spend a little more on either the Groupon and go to like a fancier place, or just go and, you know, pay full price somewhere else. I think for Groupon, this was like decent. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I would probably go back because if the offer is for like under $100 for this facial that is normally $130, you know, I could see myself going again. I definitely wouldn't do it as like a gift though. I don't think that this is like a gift, unless it's a person that really is like, I don't want fancy schmancy anything. But I feel like if I were to give someone a facial like my friend did previous for me, I'd want that full spa experience. That was my experience using Groupon for a facial in the city. If my face happens to break out or anything crazy like that, I'll comment that down below. But overall, basics, no frills experience. Carry some extra money just in case they have a no tax included type thing, and then your gratuity as well. Comment down below any of your unexpected experiences with Groupon. And the past things have gone pretty well. I also did get a pedicure recently from Groupon, and that was really, really great. Anyway, let me know your experiences down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.